Hi again then guys, and welcome to another Forza Horizon speed setup, and this time we're covering another one of the Porsche models to be added to the game, one of the cars which you can get without buying the full DLC. And we will also be doing a couple more Porsches in the coming week. So, the 959 is already a dominating performance car. In its day, it was one of the quickest cars you could buy, and it was almost the first 200 mile per hour road car. It was actually beaten by the Ferrari F40, but for acceleration, you could arguably say that the 959 is quicker than the F40 due to the all-wheel drive. Now, as far as performance goes and stuff like engine swaps, I would recommend the hybrid V8 from the Porsche 918. Of course, if you don't want to fit that, then don't, but that does give you the best numbers to be working with. I would recommend keeping that all-wheel drive, unless, of course, specifically you don't want it. Aspiration, of course, you want the twin turbo. As far as visuals, I would not recommend giving it the front or rear wing, because that doesn't help top-end performance. Of course, it does help handling, but that's not the primary purpose of this tune. And then as far as the rest, stuff like rims, tyres, power, weight, you basically know the drill. Fit everything to the car that has racing in the title. The only thing which you don't necessarily need to fit to this car is the roll cage. It doesn't really improve the car's top-end performance. Acceleration a little bit here or there, but it's not really necessary for this particular model. Now, as far as the tuning to unlock all of the benefits of that 1400 horsepower engine, you can see according to the benchmark, it's a strong car. 2.4 to 60 is not bad at all, 4.1 to 100 certainly isn't, and a top speed of 272 means that it is among the quickest cars in the game. It's not the quickest, but it's up there. It really is up there. There are plenty of supercars which this is faster than. Now, as far as the gearbox, as you can see, I would recommend a final drive of 2.9, then individual gears of, again, 2.9 for first, then 2, 1.5, 1.19, 0.97 and 0.8. As far as alignment, we've got neutral, camber and toe with 4 degrees of caster, so bang on centre. If you want it to be a little bit stiffer, then take that higher, and vice versa. If you want the car to be a little bit more tail happy, you can take it lower, especially at lower speeds. For anti-roll, we've got those on 28 and 46. Springs on 145 and 192. I've opted to leave the ride height basically stock because I like the way the car looks already. If you want to lower it, you can. It's down to personal preference though. As far as dampers, we've got those on 12, 16, 6 and 7. Aero doesn't apply. And for the diff, I've opted for 100% on acceleration, as I usually do, and 0% on deceleration. But as I always say, if you already know a setup that works better for you in that regard, by all means change it. It doesn't affect your straight line performance that much. That's just a personal preference for me. And then as far as the centre split, I've gone for 75% because the 959, being a rear engine vehicle, as with most Porsches, has a tendency to be a little bit twitchier at high speeds because you've got less weight grounding the front end. So having that much power going to the front still, 25%, does help to keep it in line more. It helps with launch off the line. Of course, it helps off-road and all that kind of good stuff. Now, if you want to get this tuned straight on your car, you can find it on my storefront. So just use the keywords down in the video description to get that quickly and easily. But for now, let's take it out on the street to see what it can do. Now, as I mentioned early on in the video, the 959 in its day was a monster. So is it still? The benchmark would certainly indicate that it is, but sometimes cars don't necessarily live up to those numbers, and on other occasions they kind of surpass the numbers. Stuff like the Alpine A110, which is a brilliant performance car, even though the benchmark doesn't necessarily sound that amazing. In the case of the 959, this is a monster. The performance is incredible. It flies up to that top speed of 272, no problem whatsoever. And it's one of those cars where you don't necessarily need a stupidly long straight to get there. It does get up to that speed surprisingly well for a slightly older vehicle. And as you can see from the video, you're not even on the red line doing that speed, so you've even got some draft potential there as well. How far it can go beyond that, I can't guarantee, but 272 is at least assured from this car, and of course if you want to check out other tunes like this on the channel, there are plenty more. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.